Hi, you're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel. Today let's talk about the synth sounds of Depeche Mode's 1984 hit People Are People, which was a massive hit in Europe and America at the time. And it was quite a revolutionary song because it annoyed the heck out of her parents. Until then, annoying music was the domain of rockers and metalists. But yeah, now this was in the hands of these people. This song is quite a technological achievement because back in the days the samplers available were quite limited. A maximum of 8 voice polyphony and RAM, and storage media was really limited. And in interviews I read, it took 7 days in the studio to assemble this song track for track. That is quite a long time. Let's take a look at what they sampled and how they sampled, and there are also some synthesizer sounds to be found in the song, mainly the bass line or the bass patch and this pad which is played in the chorus. I guess this was created on the Yamaha DX7, which was released the year before this song came out. It could also be the PPG Wave, but I think it's FM synthesis and I'll show you why I think it's that. Without further ado, let's dive into the song. Here we go. In this song, Depeche Mode used a mix of everyday sounds they sampled themselves and some factory samples from the CMI Fairlight. So let's go to the kitchen first and capture some clanging and banging sounds. And also, I found a free sound font in the internet of the original Fairlight samples, link is in this video's description, where I found some of the drums, the orchestral steps and the harp sound used in this song. Let's also take a look at the synthesizer sounds in this song. For example, the bass patch. Okay, so this is the Reface DX, my FM synthesizer, and we're beginning with an initialized patch here. This is a pure sine wave, and as always, the first thing we want to do is to choose the correct algorithm. This is a harmonically complex sound, so let's choose an algorithm that can depict this. And I'm choosing algorithm number 4. We have the carrier here, which generates a sine wave, and then we have 3 operators which modulate the sound, and you can see this algorithm branches, so we have 2 different routes in which the sine wave is distorted by the modulators, and finally on top of all of this there's the 4th operator modulating the whole signal, so we can achieve a pretty distorted sound here, and that's what we're going to need for this. Next thing, I want to adjust the level of the modulators. At the moment it's a sine wave, but the sound is pretty distorted, so let's increase the strength of the modulators here. And now let's take a look at the frequency of these operators. We'll leave the carrier where it is, but the sound is quite metallic and chiming, so I suppose the final chain here in this sequence of operators is pitched some octaves up, so let's do that. And now, in order to achieve this distorted, harmonically complex sound, I'll decrease the frequency of the 2 modulators here to the minimum possible first. And now I'll start slowly increasing the frequency until the sound is right. And now listen closely what happens when I increase the frequency. You'll hear overtones in the background starting going up and down. Listen to this. Next one. You can hear there are some sweet spots where the sound gets together. let's take a look at the envelopes of the sounds. And the only envelope we need to care about is that of operator 4 here, because we want the sound to be sharp in the beginning and more mellow at the end, kind of like a low-pass filter envelope on a subtractive synth. So let's press the envelope level here and tail whip at operator 4. And the pad sound found in the chorus. Okay, so the choir sound from the chorus. I think that was a standard sample from the CMI Fairlight, but then again, the manufacturers of the CMI Fairlight must have recorded that sample somewhere, so I think it's okay if we take a look at how to create a vocal or patch on an FM synthesizer. The first thing, as always, is to choose the correct algorithm, and I'm just going with algorithm number 5 here. And the secret sauce here is that one carrier operator gets modulated by 3 different modulators in parallel. And one of those modulators will be set to a fixed frequency, and we'll begin with that. So press edit, and now I go to operator 4 here, and you see the mode is ratio, and we'll change that from ratio to fixed frequency. All right, so now let's take a look at the levels first. We want to change the sine wave a bit, so now let's increase the volume until we've got something voice-like. We're looking for the tone here. Now go to frequency. We want to have a fixed frequency here, and if you listen closely to a human voice, you will hear that there's a high-pitched frequency forming all the things you say, and that is called the formant. If you want to emulate this, go for a frequency around 3000 Hertz. Listen to this. Next, you want to have a 2-to-1 ratio on the other operators. Yeah, let's change the frequency of the carrier to 2, or the ratio. Yeah, and there you have it. Now you can adjust the sharpness of the vocal sound by adjusting the loudness of the 4th operator here. The quality of the vocal can be adjusted with a 2nd oscillator here. So the louder it is, the more it sounds like an A. And the lower the volume is, the more it sounds like an O. What we want to do now is to add some LFO modulation, because when the singer sings, it will never be a straight tone, but there will always be some modulation on there. So let's add some pitch modulation. And now we also want to use some amplitude modulation. Adjust the envelope, so dial down the attack, and I'll add a little bit more release. Now apply different attack rates to the modulators. So it sounds like oh now. And what we want to do now is to add a healthy dose of reverb and delay. I'm using my Strymon Night Sky and Strymon Volanti. Okay, we've got all the sounds. Now let's take a look at the chords and the structures. This song is quite obsessed with A minor, so let's take a look at the chorus first, because the song begins with the chorus. And that's A minor, and you just play changing bass notes with the left hand, so you change from A to F to D while playing A minor all along. And I'll try to sing along. Please don't laugh. Here we go. People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. People are people, so why should it be that you and I should get along so awfully? Alright, and in the verse, it's even simpler. You just hold A minor all along and you don't even change the bass notes. This is only made interesting by those synth riffs that play along. I'll try to sing along once more. So with different colors and with different creeds, and different people have different needs, it's obvious you hate me though I've done nothing wrong. I never even met you, so what could I have done? Alright, and then we have this bridge part which changes to F major, and you play descending bass line on E, D, C, and then you change to G major and go back to A minor. I'll try to sing along one last time. I can't understand what makes a man hate another man. Let me understand. Yeah, and that's the structure of the song. They repeat this multiple times, and there are also some breaks where they keep riffing on A minor. And that's it basically. Just listen to this on Spotify or YouTube and you'll eventually figure it out. So now let's take a look at the drums and the bass. Okay, drums are from the Fairlight 2 and sound like this. And this repeats all the time, but you play 2 bass drums on the first beat. So and of course we have these kitchen utility sounds. And the bass is playing the same riff throughout the chorus. Okay, and with that, the most important parts of the song are there. Now I'll try to do my best Dave Gahan and Martin Gore impression here, and here's the finished cover. So why should it be you and I should get along so awfully? People are people, so why should it be you and I should get along so awfully? So with different colors and with different creeds, with different people have different needs. It's obvious you hate me though I've done nothing wrong. I never even met you, so what could I have done? I can't understand what makes a man hate another man. Help me understand. People are people, so why should it be you and I should get along so awfully? People are people, so why should it be you and I should get along so awfully? Yeah, and that's it for today. I hope you found this interesting and useful, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to, you can support this channel also by downloading my sound sets on gumroad.com or listening and buying my music on bandcamp.com. Links should be somewhere here. And as always, thanks for watching, and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.